Alright, hello everybody. Today I want to talk about 5 mistakes I made getting into reptiles so that you can learn from them and not make the same mistakes. If you found this video educational and or entertaining, please leave a like and subscribe. That's all I really have, so without further ado, let's get started. If you're new and haven't seen him before, this is one of my 2 corn snakes, Alfredo. Now, the first point I would like to talk about is not tracking everything. Write down all of the feedings, enclosure cleanings, sheds, all that stuff, because I didn't do it at the start, and then I would have animals go like 2 weeks without eating instead of 1 because I completely forgot when feeding day was, or I wasn't sure how long they'd refused food, or maybe I didn't clean their enclosure soon enough. All that stuff. So just writing it down after every time you do something with them makes everything so much easier. So you can take better care of them, so you can not miss a feeding, so you know if something's wrong and you can try to fix the problem. Right, when you track everything, you know, okay, it's been a whole month since this animal's eating. Now I need to address this problem. Now maybe take it to the vet. So on and so forth. You can either get a specific calendar for your reptiles, which is what I did at the start, and now I just have a notebook and I write the date and then what happened. It's pretty easy if you have 1. I'm at 4 at the moment, so I've come up with like abbreviations for all of them. Also, write down how much they weigh. Try to weigh your animals like I'd say every 2 months or something like that. I use a food scale and a Tupperware. So you put the Tupperware on the scale, tear it, and then put the animal in. Second point is going to be expecting them to eat every time, which kind of ties back to the first one. But yeah, it's not a dog or a cat, which is what a lot of us are used to. If they just decide not to eat randomly, you kind of have a problem. With reptiles, it's normal. Everything can be perfectly fine and they'll just decide not to eat that time, and you got to see if they'll eat next feeding. Now, if that happens for a while, you got to reassess your care and see if there's an issue or take it to the vet. So yeah, don't panic the first time or the first 2 times or something. Sometimes reptiles decide not to eat. It's normal. Number 3, this is probably like the biggest one I've made, is doing research after you bought something. Well, I guess after I bought something. I want to point a lot of these to me because I'm not like calling anybody out. I'm saying, hey, I screwed this up and now I know better. If you're getting into this, avoid these problems. The first one is actually this guy. I had my snake at the time, Noodle, and then my brother wanted one. And I already knew how to take care of a corn snake, so we didn't look into it. And the PetSmart employee said we could keep them together. If anyone has learned literally anything about corn snakes, you probably know they're cannibalistic, so don't do that. I didn't know that at the time. I had not found that in my initial research for my first snake, that corn snakes love to eat each other. And he's trying to leave. You can see him, he's right there. All right, I'm going to go grab him. So yeah, that's not even half of it. Well, I guess that's directly half of it because I have one more example, which is my lemur tree frogs. Now you have to, like, been watching my stuff for a while. You probably know me in person. If you have any idea about my lemur tree frogs, because they did not last very long. They're actually an endangered species, and I had not known that when I bought them. I went to an expo just to have fun and watch everything. Expos are fun no matter what. But I was also looking for some red-eyed tree frogs or something similar. I thought lemur tree frogs were basically identical to red-eyed tree frogs. Little did I know, they are critically endangered, so if you're going to buy one, you probably need to be a zoologist or a very experienced breeder, because the whole idea with them is getting the numbers up in the wild. 15-year-old me was not cut out for that, and I was not sure, because I was not told all of that. I thought the care was the same, and the person I was buying it from did not warn me. So yeah, really don't, if you're looking for something and you got to switch to plan B, maybe come back another time. Number 4 is not going in depth enough with your diet research, which I guess is just diving deeper into more research. But yeah, when you search up what does a leopard gecko eat, you're going to get instant responses of this many crickets or whatever from multiple different websites. Do more research than that. Talk to a content creator, message them on Instagram, or talk to somebody you know, or maybe somebody at an expo, something like that. do more than that, because some people think they need a varied diet, and that was something I had no idea about. I was just feeding them crickets until they stopped wanting crickets, and then I'd switch it up. So yeah, do a deeper dive than you'd expect with diet, because I think I'd done enough after like 4 care guides and still ended up being wrong. Another example was the green day gecko. They are big fruit eaters, like mangoes, because they're from Madagascar. I was only feeding mine insects for a long time, and so I was like, hey, can I get some help? This thing's not eating. Oh, it's actually from LLL Reptile. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know if it's triple L, whatever you want to call it. I got him there, and then I wasn't sure about that. I didn't take him back there, but we were getting something, and I was like, hey, by the way, my animal's not eating. They're like, oh yeah, you got to feed it fruit, dummy. Well, they didn't say that, but you know. Get your diets right before you take care of the animal for 6 months and feed it wrong. Last point, number 5, is gonna be thinking you know everything. Which I guess you could tie all 5 of these into just don't be dumb like me. But regardless. Oh, that's his head. I thought that was his tail. I don't know if you guys could see that. I completely was just like, I'm lucky I didn't get bit. He used to be aggressive. Like, I couldn't try to pick him up without almost getting bit because he had a really bad feeding response. And now he's a very nice snake. I just totally tapped him on the face and he didn't care. Still lucky, though. Don't try that. Or was I? Don't think you know everything. Check up on your research, especially because we don't know everything about taking care of reptiles in captivity. They're exotic animals, especially if it's something newer to the hobby. Like, I wanted to get... Oh, I remember a friend had a Cuban false chameleon, and they just, like, after they got it, they couldn't check the care because there was barely anything known about it. So, if you're new, probably avoid those animals that even experts barely know anything about. Or just frequently check up on your research. Talk to people that have entire reptile rooms. Just make sure maybe there's something you can learn, because all of us could always do better. So yeah, I guess in summary, do your research. Just try to learn, and then you'll get this stuff right. Really, with reptiles, learn, try, and track everything, and you'll be okay. Make sure you know what you're buying before you buy it. Don't buy a Burmese python and put it in a 20-gallon. So comment down below if you've been taking care of these guys for a while and there's something else I missed that people could maybe learn from and avoid. And if you're new, ask some questions if you're thinking about possibly buying a ball python, bearded dragon, any of that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one.